Hey guys, happy Wednesday, October 9th. I told the folks in the Discord that if we broke under the demand zone for AMC, which we did today, that I would do a quick TA update video for all of you guys. Let's go through what I'm seeing here. I want to hear from you guys as well and talk about a couple of things to think about as we close out this week. I have the green rectangle demand zone drawn with the bottom of it at $4.10. Although back in May, there was one tail end of a wick that was at $4. So it could be debatable where the actual support is. I like to be a little more cautious and not use the tail end of a wick and after hours like that. That's why I have the bottom of that demand zone drawn at 410 so that I would make sure I pay attention if we drop below that. Some of the things to point out here on the 1 hour chart, we are trading underneath all of the moving averages that I track. That is not a good sign. However, the RSI and the MACD both look like they are potentially bottoming out here. There's no guarantee how many days we could be here. There's no guarantee that it can't go lower, but it looks like potentially we could have a little bit of a turnaround here, and we will just have to wait and see. I'm certainly not making any firm guesses in the middle of the week here. Zooming out to the daily chart, we have a similar situation with the candles all trading underneath the moving averages and the RSI and the MACD hitting very, very low levels. If we zoom out again to the weekly chart, again, the same situation with the moving averages and the RSI, but you'll notice that the weekly MACD is still in the green, but it is in danger of going down into the red. That moving average convergence, divergence will go into the red if things don't stabilize here over the next couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see on the weekly chart as we get closer to the Q3 earnings date, if that weekly MACD degrades further and starts going into the red, or if we get some sort of support at this level. As we are at a critical point of decision on if there's going to be support here at this demand zone, a couple of things kind of run through my head as I plan out my trading strategy and any risk mitigation that I might want to be thinking about as a trader if the support does not hold at this zone. Trading at $4.07, AMC currently has a market cap of $1.47 billion. And looking at the chart, thinking about where could the stock price potentially fall to, worst case, I'm not making any predictions, but worst case, the chart is showing that it could fall all the way down to a $3 level or so. Now, I don't know if that will happen, but there's a couple of things that I think about as I'm contemplating, could it happen? The one thing that I look at is the historical market cap of the company. Right now on the far right-hand side of this chart, you'll notice that the current market cap of AMC is $1.47 billion. And if we were to fall back down to that $3 level with the current outstanding shares, that would put AMC at about a $1 billion market cap. So I want to go back in history and see what is the historical market cap for AMC. In October of 2019, AMC had about a $1 billion market cap, and it held that level until the Corona stuff started happening in 2020. And of course, it degraded even further. But a $1 billion market cap wouldn't be historically out of norms. So is it possible that the company could fall to $3? I would say it is not impossible. Let's put it that way. What is driving the price down? Well, obviously there's more sellers on any given day than buyers, whether that's just because there is a lack of buyers or the shorts are increasing their activity. And I think it is a fair guess to say that the shorts are increasing their activity. We can see that on the short interest chart. You can see that uptick from the middle of September to the end of September. And I would guess that over the last week, based on the continued pressure downward on the price, that the short interest is continuing to increase. If you can read highlighted here in the light blue and white text, it says that the current short interest as of the end of September was just over 57 million shares, giving us a short interest percentage over 16.7%. Now, you guys have not heard me talk about in a long time the short interest. However, when I see very strange activity going on like this, I do start paying more attention to the short interest. As many of you know, we are expecting Q3 results to be good. We'll find that out around the first week of November when the company reports their Q3 earnings. We got an upgrade last week from Eric Wald over at B. Riley, updating and adjusting up his expectations for Q3 adjusted EBITDA. I'm still expecting that Alicia and the other Eric will provide some updates in the next coming days, next week or so. So the logical question then is, why is the price being driven down if Q3 is supposedly going to be really good? And that, my friends, is the exact question that you should be thinking about. Now, I know you're going to say ladder attacks or spoofing or whatever the theory of the day is that all the pumper channels are talking about. I don't really care about all of that. That may be happening, but I don't care. What I'm searching for is what is the logical finance, industry, company specific reason that any of this negativity on the stock price might be happening. What would incentivize the shorts to push the price down? What would incentivize them to increase their presence on social media? And I know that all of you have seen it in the past 3 or 4 days. So although my thesis has not changed that Q3 is going to be very good and probably exceed people's expectations, we spent most of this week thinking about, with this negative price action going on, what could we have possibly missed? And it has been days of working through different scenarios, running a bunch of numbers, and we have some ideas, and I might cover that in an upcoming live stream. I don't know if people want to hear why the price might be going down. I don't know if YouTube or social media is ready to hear that stuff. You guys hate it if I have theories that go against what you want to believe, but I want to hear from you today. If you have ideas, drop them down in the comments. Not any conspiracy stuff. Think about logically what might be happening here that would incentivize shorts to push the price down. And if you want to see a live stream this week where we talk about some of our ideas, also let me know that down in the comments. In the meantime, if you're a buy and hold trader, you're probably not going to do anything anyway, so you probably don't care. If you're a risk averse trader like I am, you might be thinking about, should I take some hedging steps here? Or should I have a trading plan if things degrade further? If it were potentially to go down to $3? I don't know what it's going to do. I hope that as we finish out this week that we find support here at the $4 level and things don't degrade any further. But I don't ever count on anything to be a certainty. Not even my own DD that Q3 is going to be good. Even if it is good, I could still be wrong on what happens with the price action if I'm not thinking like these shorts are, if I'm not analyzing this thing out far enough. So I spend a lot of time thinking about that stuff, going over and over DD, numbers, liquidity, cash, all of this stuff to think for myself, what could they be seeing that I might be missing? Anyways, if y'all want to talk some more about that, drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you want to see a live stream talking about this later this week. I don't want to piss you off, so if you don't want to see it, just leave a comment saying don't. And then we'll see where we're at by the end of this week. You guys get to make the vote. I am Tony Denaro. Thank you for watching, and I will see ya on the next video.